Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today we are going to be diving into the Thunderbolts ending, the post-credit scenes, and what this means for the future of these characters. Now, if you have not seen the movie yet, this is your warning. Click off this video now, watch the film, then come back. I get that there has been a lot of skepticism and worry with recent Marvel films, with a lot of people complaining about them and how rubbish they are and how they're not as good as the Infinity Saga. But seriously, Thunderbolts brings back the vibe of the Infinity Saga and it sets up the future of the MCU in such a way that reignited a fire in me. So honestly, my friend who I watch all these Marvel movies with, and I have since college, he has been skeptical and a bit pessimistic about Marvel and their future and the direction that they're going in. And whilst I appreciate a lot of those concerns, and he kind of echoes a lot of fans' thoughts about it, once he watched this movie, he came out, and I've not seen a fire in him for Marvel since the Infinity Saga started closing out. So please, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, if you want the same vibe that Thor Ragnarok brought with the beginning of how the Infinity Saga was going to end with Infinity War and Endgame, seriously, watch the film, go in fresh, avoid as many spoilers as possible, and enjoy it. I mean, even if you do know a spoiler, I mean, I know Marvel have already spoiled one thing about it. It doesn't matter. Go in and watch it. It's a great film. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get into the video. So, firstly, let's explain kind of the movie. So throughout the movie, Val is obviously kind of like the villain character of this film, and she tries to solidify her power in the US government. Obviously, she's the CIA director. Now, by releasing the Sentry, she positions him as Earth's mightiest hero, and this way, her goal is to kind of dodge impeachment by manufacturing a new superhero figure now that the original Avengers are gone. She kind of wants to look like the one who saved the world. But of course, Sentry's mental instability takes over and he transforms into the Void by the end of the movie and attacks New York. The Thunderbolts come together and they manage to free Bob Reynolds from the Void's influence, which, by the way, I will have a breakdown on the Sentry, the Void, Bob Reynolds, and how they kind of represent mental health and depression in a later video, so please stay tuned for that. That should be coming out within the week, if not next. But anyway, after the Void is freed and Bob is brought back, Val kind of manipulates the Thunderbolts into branding themselves as the new Avengers, preventing the Thunderbolts from arresting Val. But Yelena does call out Val here, telling her that we own you. So basically, Val has used this announcement to shield herself from federal charges. If she's seen as the creator of America's New Heroes, the government won't turn on her and make her look like a villain in the public eye. As the credits roll, though, we see different news headlines pop up, rejecting the Thunderbolts as the new Avengers, and kind of public backlash is kind of immediate. They're kind of taking the mick out of the team, the members, and to be honest, this mirrors a lot of what I suspected would come out from the fans. I found out about this new Avengers plot point before the movie, and whilst it made me go, actually, I want to watch it, and I actually cancelled some plans with a friend to go and watch it because I was just too excited for it. Now, like I said, whilst I suspected a lot of Marvel fans would complain about it, seeing all this kind of made it feel, and I know Kevin Feige has spoken about this, by doing the headlines, it kind of made me feel, hang on, actually, I can appreciate this as the new Avengers team. You kind of feel like you have to defend them a bit after these headlines. So it worked really, really well. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about this new Avengers team. I can imagine that they're going to change throughout the future of the MCU, especially after, during Doomsday and Secret Wars. I can feel it changing. But regardless, the first end credit scene shows the Red Guardian in a supermarket. He's now clean-shaven, but still showing a bit of a mustache, and he's talking to a woman about a cereal box with the New Avengers on it. So it's sponsored by the New Avengers, and we actually get a brief look at the team's new suits here. I was going to say, I remember during this moment in the film, I was like, oh crap, I hope we can see a closer look, and thankfully we do. But anyway, The Red Guardian, this is kind of like a jokey one. He puts his face next to the box saying like, oh, look, it's me. And the woman takes the box and throws it away as soon as she gets far away from him. And he yells, it's me on the box, as a little humorous joke. Honestly, the humor and the comedy in this movie works so well, and Red Guardian is just the best. So, so this was just a funny scene, but it's the second end credit scene which blew my mind and made me go straight to the cinema to watch this. We see the new Avengers in their new headquarters. Looks like it's Avengers Tower. It was the Watchtower, now it's Avengers Tower again. And it looks like they're all on the sort of penthouse level, and they're all discussing the fact that Captain America, Sam Wilson, has filed a copyright claim against the new Avengers, saying that he's forming his own team and that they basically don't have the rights to the Avengers title. Bucky mentions that he tried speaking to Cap, but it didn't go well, and the public is actually siding with Captain America's team as the real Avengers. So this instantly creates a conflict between the new Avengers and Captain America's Avengers. You could call them the real Avengers or the other new Avengers, whatever you want to say. But that kind of makes a bit of an interesting dynamic. But I'll go through that in a minute. This scene gets a bit comedic. It's actually one of the longest end credit scenes Marvel's ever done, with Red Guardian suggesting renaming the team as Avengers with a Z. To dodge the copyright claim. Yelena, they start arguing with each other, and one comment from Yelena was quite funny, where she said, and this is why we're Avengers with a Z. But Yelena does mention that the government aren't giving them information about their space problem. Now, Red Guardian kind of volunteers to ride the Sentry into space to check it out, but Bob warns that doing so could unleash the Void again. So there's 2 points here that I want to make. First is that Bob will be obviously included in Avengers Doomsday, as we know from the casting announcement, but he's going to be hesitant about being the Sentry, which means that the Avengers have to fight Doom harder. They poses more of a challenge. If they just unleash the Sentry, it would make the battle feel, it would end much, much quicker. So it kind of adds to the stakes a bit. The scene ends with Yelena and Bucky saying that they're going to fire at the jets as the monitor displays a rocket entering Earth's atmosphere. And the AI voice confirms that it's an extra-dimensional vessel. The ship spins on the monitor and we see the Fantastic Four logo. Now, after this, Val is now protected from the legal fallout. She's riding the PR wave as the creator of the new Avengers, but the team are being publicly mocked, and people aren't buying into them as Earth's next protectors. Despite this, they're stationed in, like I said, Avengers Tower, and have government support, high-tech equipment, and even a ship of some kind, because they say fire the jets. This kind of setup shows just how closely tied the government are with this team. And it kind of echoes the warnings that Steve Rogers gave about heroes being under political control, and obviously which we saw in the whole Civil War event. Even the fact that Yelena isn't kind of briefed on this space threat shows that the government is kind of keeping certain information away from its own team, which is not a great sign. Another thing that this sets up, though, is for 2 different Avengers teams, as I stated before. Cap's team as the People's Choice, and Val's team, which has the government's backing. And with Bucky saying that things didn't end well with Cap, there's obviously tension already there. That being said, I really hope Cap and Bucky do reconcile, and that the 2 teams will unite by the end of Avengers Doomsday. What is interesting is that the Russo brothers actually directed this final post-credit scene on a Doomsday set. So, knowing what they did with the Ant-Man post-credit scene where they literally reused it for Civil War, we could see this moment again, but I kind of hope they don't waste the runtime re-explaining things that we've already seen in an end credit scene. We get it, just move on with the story. We want to see something new rather than something again, but I really don't know. That's just my assumption. Then there's the big stinger, which is, of course, the Fantastic Four stinger. Now, before I get into this, I just want to mention as well, The new Avengers suits and the logo just look amazing. They look really, really good. I love each of their suits. I love the logo. I hope we see Red Guardian suit later down the line as well. I hope that these are the suits that they're going to wear in Avengers Doomsday. I think it would really, really fit them well. But yeah, let's get into the Fantastic Four thing now. Many fans think that the Fantastic Four movie will end, myself included, with their Earth being destroyed by Galactus. And they say that this Fantastic Four end credit scene proves that. I just want to say, it doesn't quite confirm it yet. Alright? It just shows that the Fantastic Four have left their world and have come to 616. Now, there's a bit of debate in my mind about what this space problem is that Yelena mentioned. Is the space problem the Fantastic Four arriving? Or was there a space problem and then the Fantastic Four arrived? It could be that this space problem that they're mentioning is actually an incursion. And it could even be that Nick Fury at the Saber station in space is trying to give more information to Captain America's team rather than the New Avengers. And hence why the New Avengers have no idea and they're going to have to investigate themselves. But it's obviously the beginning of the Fantastic Four being implemented into the 616 universe, and it's the first sign that we're going to get, like, Avengers Doomsday's coming, you know? It's our first sign for that, and it's so exciting to see. I mean, it could even be that the Fantastic Four, they end with their world surviving, and then they discover a multiversal problem, or they discover that Dr. Doom is doing something bad, and so they've come to 616 to warn them. But then again, if you want to watch my Avengers Doomsday pitch, I go into more detail about this, but I'll put it in a link above the screen for you now. But essentially, in my version, the Fantastic Four leave their world because it's destroyed, and they fall into 616. But anyway, with all this new information, I'm just going to go through a quick theory on how I think Doomsday could kick off based on this. We can kind of start with the TVA monitoring the collapse of the multiverse, whilst Captain America's Avengers are helping civilians as the incursion kind of causes debris to rain onto 616. Cap can mention his fallout with Bucky, just a quick reference to keep things consistent, and then they return to their base on Celestial Island as they find out that the Fantastic Four ships arrive. We could even get that information from Nick Fury. From there, the Fantastic Four reveal kind of what they know, possibly about Doom or the incursion itself. It could be that the Fantastic Four meet Cap's Avengers or the New Avengers, and eventually, obviously, we see the two teams link up. And as the movie progresses, we could see them recruit allies like the Wakandans as they prepare for a war against an incoming Earth, which was predicted by the leader in Brave New World, which I believe is going to be the Earth we saw at the end of the Marvels. Or, if I'm going to put my theory brain on this, it could be Earth 10,005, which is, of course, the home to the original Fox X-Men characters. And then we could get an Avengers versus X-Men storyline, you know? While I don't know exactly how Doomsday will unfold, after Thunderbolts, the stage is finally being set. Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and of course First Steps coming out, Marvel has laid a solid groundwork. A lot of people were concerned that Marvel was so disconnected and how we didn't really have many projects to kind of lean into Avengers Doomsday. But after this one movie, after Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and even the Marvels, we have a new Avengers team, hints of the incursions and multiversal threats, the arrival of the Fantastic Four, and eventually in First Steps, we're going to get possibly a hint towards Doctor Doom. Now, it's just a matter of seeing how Marvel will bring all of this together, and personally, I think they're back on track, and Doomsday could be the movie that reignites excitement in the MCU for all Marvel fans. And I think Thunderbolts is definitely the first step to this. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I want to know, what did you think of Thunderbolts? Did you like the end credit scenes? And are you even more hyped for Doomsday and First Steps after seeing it? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you did like this video, then please like and subscribe for more content like this. If you're into, obviously, like I said, theories and thoughts about Avengers Doomsday, check out my Doomsday pre-write video as well, where I pitch my full plot for the film. It's really, really good. I really, really love it. Please check it out if you get a chance. But anyway, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.